So for someone listening to this that they're like, well, I don't really know what's my big core desire, how can they understand what it is for them?
Their desire?
Yeah, like that thing that they really want in life, like whether it's the worthiness piece for you. Like, how did you come to understand that theme?
Yeah. Core wound for me was, okay, I like open-ended questions. So it's like, if I am whatever you're searching for. So I love the enneagram. I think it's a beautiful map of the human psyche. It's not who we are, it's the psychology, right? So very important, ego versus essence. So our personality is really designed in these 9 types, and anybody can look into the enneagram.
Can you just briefly tell us like the number and the type of
Sure. So the 1 is the perfectionist. They look for perfection in the world, but they also don't want to feel wrong. They try to be perfect. So the 1 is the perfectionist. The 2 is the helper. They're so easy to be around people. And yet sometimes their work is to identify what their needs are rather than just giving to others, having boundaries. Very like service profession type people. The 3 is the achiever. Unconsciously, and there's gifts in all of these too, and this is a whole map. So I'm just giving like the bite-sized piece of it and the shadow part of it so that we can identify the wound. The 3 is the achiever. And so unconsciously, they think their worth is through what they achieve, what they do. So really detaching who they are from what they do is important work.
It's very pitta. And this is my second one, your first one, right?
Yeah. And the 4 is the individualists, and they're usually the creatives, the romantics, and sometimes they can wallow in the past, but they want to bring beauty out into the world. So they are like the soul deep divers, like they're willing to go into the dark night of the ego, right?
Because I feel like I've become this one. All I do is like cry and think about love all day now.
and so like there's beauty, right, in all of them, and then there's challenges in all of them. And then there's the 5, the investigator. These are more, think of like professors. They find their value in the world through what they know, through knowledge. The 6s are the loyalists, and these, they like routine, they like regular, they like structure, security, knowing, and yet they can worry a lot. So mindset work is really good for 6s. The 7s are the enthusiasts.
This one's mine.
Yes. That like so fun, high vibe, like just like the life of the party. And sometimes 7s can jump from one thing to another without real mastery and going deep into one.
Very Vata. I'm like, let's travel. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's go.
So fun. And then the 8 is the challengers, and they take on the big challenges of the world. And sometimes people cannot feel safe with them. And so they try to control and manage life outside of them so that they feel safe. But oftentimes they had really hard upbringings. And it can be direct. So not everybody likes that. Whereas the 9s are the peacemakers. These are the people that are hanging out in Bali all the time, finding peace, and they don't like conflict, and they haven't really fully explored their own anger. And they're very easygoing, but part of the work is for them to have a voice, have an opinion, and speak their truth. So all of them, again, have their gifts. And what I find is that typically the core wound can be easy to find what it is once you know your Enneagram type. And so my experience is that we're looking for safety and belonging and acceptance in the world through these 9 different types. We're looking for, it's almost like the ego is looking for what the soul already has the medicine for. So we're looking outside versus going into a deeper dimension of our being. And when we go into our being, we discover everything we thought would be through achieving success, joy out in the world. It's just within ourselves. And so I find that to be a really beautiful, succinct map to just navigate our own human psyche. And I think that can help people just have like a first fresh start.